Hi everyone. May 16, 2020. I want to thank my subscriber for sending along a lot of these Twitter posts that, since I'm not on Twitter, I don't see an awful lot of what is being posted there, and it's a lot of crazy stuff that's really dangerous. CDC recommends separating newborns from moms to help stop spread of COVID-19. Yeah. CDC guidelines. Separate newborns. Keep them separated. I think the time period is 2 weeks. Nothing like breaking the bond between newborn and mom. That's what it's about. There are so many mainstream media articles that are so unbelievably crazy that you really do get to see that you don't live in countries anymore. You know, the world has been reshaped into a psychiatric institution, and unfortunately, yeah, those in charge are the crazies. Okay, Massachusetts. More towns are painting arrows on the sidewalk because you can only walk one way. You've seen them in supermarkets, I'm sure.
For people to walk in one direction? Okay, this is insanity. You know this. What the? God, this is crazy.
You know what happens when you give local authority, like selectmen and stuff?
Who's the town manager for Swampscott?
John Fitzgerald.
And I bet he supports Charlie Baker. Oh my God! So people, now what happens if I don't walk? And what if I do this? And I will, because this is what I'm going to do. What happens if I do this? What do they do to me? This is I know you guys are doing your job, but this is insanity. This is tyranny. That's what this is. This is communism. Come on, this is communism. No, it isn't. I have a double master's in nursing. What kind of health is this? You're gonna get a COVID from walking down the street? This is insane. Look at this. Two people who are together walking with a mask. And they're fine. Thank God this woman has some sanity, no mask on her. And they're fine with what's going on here. Spray painting arrows on the sidewalk in Swampscott, which means that if you are walking in the wrong direction, if you walk... I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Take a look. Go to the Swampscott website and find out what happens if you don't walk. It's not these guys' faults. They're just doing their job. But look at this. Look, this is Swampscott. This is where the governor of Massachusetts lives. This is what's going on. This is insanity. This is what's going on. Look at this. This is tyranny. This is communism. This is what the Chinese communist government does to their people. And it's happening right here on the streets in Massachusetts.
I think she said Massachusetts. They've done this in other towns, and you get fined if you're walking the wrong way. Okay. I believe this is in China. This is what they're doing to their elementary school children. Sorry. Volume. Yeah, I know. Did somebody just put it up? Because I didn't. Okay. Wow. Oh, man. This world is really turning into just a flippin' crazy nightmare.
在幸福里感受 就开了，在清风秋月里望眼着生活，爱你就像一杯茶，情似一团火，平平淡淡和你说着那执着。抖音。
Wow. Well, selfish joggers who jog on this block without masks, be warned. We value the lives of our elderly neighbors and will throw stuff at you, I guess. Well, nothing like setting up the Hunger Games, getting everyone really fighting with one another, and that's going to be my next video because people are really fighting with one another over masks, not wearing them. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. Melbourne, Australia.
G'day, how are you?
Yep.
Hi, how are you? I'm Sam. I'm from Melbourne West Police Station. Are you Christina Bebek?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any ID on you at all today?
What for?
Oh, just so I can just ID. Just
Do I have to show it?
Do you have any on you?
Well, do I need to show it?
Okay, that's fine. Can you state your name for me?
What for?
What for? So I'm here in regards to the protest you attended on the 10th of May. So
Yeah.
do you have any ID on you?
Why are you asking me?
Would you just like to verify your details?
You don't need to verify my details.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. I don't even know what you're here for.
Okay, so I was giving you a quick caution. So, okay, so my name is Sam Fletcher. You don't have
Who are
to say.
you?
I'll show you some ID.
And where are you from?
Melbourne West Police Station.
Okay.
So listen, you don't have to say or do anything, but anything you say or do may be using evidence. Do you understand that?
Okay, in that case, I'll say nothing. Thank
That's
you.
fine, but can you please state your full name and your address?
I don't need to.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
It's actually an offence.
It's an offence
No,
not
it's
to
not.
state your... Yes, it is.
I'm not driving a car. I'm at home. You've come on my you're very close
Christina,
to coming right
we're
onto my
here to
property.
interview in regards to the offence of breaching COVID laws. Therefore, it is. an
I haven't
offence-
breached any COVID laws.
We're here in regards to the
uh,
protest you attended.
Just change your terminology. Breaching COVID directions.
Sorry,
Okay,
breaching-
there's a difference between directions and laws.
Okay, yeah, we're here in regards to you breaching COVID directions.
And what do you want to do?
Well, we need to ask you. We need to read something to you, ask you a few questions.
Well,
and first we need
you've
to
told me
confirm
that I
your
don't need to
identity.
answer any questions. I'm not
But
prepared to answer any
name and address is
questions.
something you must state because it's an offence not to state your name and address.
Well, under what law?
Under the Crimes Act.
Where? What section?
456 AA.
Okay, let me look it up. Excuse me for a moment.
Just before we do, we've got some information. You can look that up.
Information about what?
The information that we've got to read out to you
Are
about
you-
what happened. Listen,
Hang on,
for
hang
a
on.
second. Stop interrupting me. You just
Where,
asked me a question.
where is it against my rights to attend a protest?
Well,
Where?
Listen, if you allow us to speak, we're about to
Go
tell
right
you.
ahead.
Okay.
Please.
So on Sunday, the 10th of May 2020, you were in attendance at a planned demonstration outside Parliament's house located at Spring Street.
A lawful demonstration.
Listen for a second.
The demonstration took place between 12 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. The state of emergency was declared, and it is in place until midnight, the 11th of May 2020. Public Health and Wellbeing Act.
Declared by who?
Listen.
2008, Section 198. It is an
Of
offence.
what?
Listen.
The Health.
Can I ask a question?
The Health and Wellbeing Act of 2008.
Is that the Constitution?
It's not the Constitution. It's the
No,
Health and
exactly.
Wellbeing Act.
Exactly. Get that clear in your head.
I said Health and Wellbeing Act. I said nothing about the Constitution.
I've got no interest in the Health and Wellbeing Act.
Clause 11, subsection 4 of the Chief Health Officer's stay-at-home direction creates restrictions.
I'm
on
at home
outdoor
right now.
gatherings.
I'm at home. I'm staying
Listen,
home.
exercise your right to remain silent for a sec.
It
Listen to
provides
the
that-
Why don't you exercise your right to remain
Do you
silent?
want to listen to this whole thing or not?
Not really. Can I go now?
No, just listen to this, and we need to confirm your identity, okay?
I'm not confirming my identity.
It provides that the person must not arrange to meet with more than one person in an outdoor space unless where each
That's a
person
direction. It's not
ordinarily
law. That's a
resides
direction.
together.
Listen.
By attending the planned demonstration, you have committed the offence.
I have
against
committed no offence.
Section 203, subsection 1 of the Public Health and Wellbeing Act, and as such, you will be issued an infringement notice. Infringement offence.
You can issue whatever you
Offence
like.
code 0945.
You can issue whatever you
The
like.
penalty is $1,652. This will be served in the mail to you.
Okay, and I'll serve it right back. I'll serve it right back. Thank you. Don't waste my time again.
Wow. You know, the order followers, right? By the way, this is a good video. It's also on YouTube. Another doctor speaks out on the CV hoax. Dallas, Texas. I will, hopefully I'll remember to link below to her talk. But, the order followers. Now, that woman in Massachusetts has stated that those guys are just doing their job. That means that they're contributing to the madness in this world and the tyranny. That you cannot separate out what you do for your paycheck and just say, hey, I'm just doing my job. That's your justification, perhaps, but then you're just deluding yourself by thinking that you're not a part, you're not contributing to the tyranny, the loss of freedom, and the abject craziness that is taking place. You are very much a part if you are following the orders and doing your job, like those two police officers. Riverside, California.
In Air 7 HD, Chris.
Hey there, guys. Just crossed over Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, coming down towards the 10 freeway now. You see all 6 of those F-16s now racing in our direction here as they make a right turn in just a moment. They're going to come down the 10 freeway towards Santa Monica at about 180 knots per hour. So you can see they're screaming from downtown in our direction, and now making their way towards the west side here. Just a spectacular sight. If you don't see them, you will certainly hear them as they descend down to about 500 feet, making for quite an experience for all of those frontline workers who are looking out for these guys from down below in the parking lots, taking a break from their very long, busy days to catch a glimpse of these U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds.
Has anybody questioned what they are spraying? This is taking place all over the country. Hey, the military just wants to recognize you, acknowledge you heroes on the front line. It's so profoundly sick. But has anybody wondered? Geez, they all seem to start spraying. So you want to imagine these psychopaths who said, hey, let's fly over and we'll tell them that the military is just so, well, enthralled with our heroes on the front line that we've just got to do this flyover and acknowledge our coronavirus frontline workers. But then we'll spray them with toxic poisons. I do wonder what's in that. Canada. Yes. So I think this comes about because there was someone in the supermarket with coronavirus, and now they're spraying all of these products, clearly with something very toxic, because this guy is pretty much in a hazmat suit. Yeah, I'd love to shop there. Pick up that product. Don't worry about the toxins that you will get from the spraying. Oh, look. Whew, I can't believe that we are actually existing in this. Trudeau, suck my 12 gauge. But as so many people are struggling and on food lines and really having quite the stressful time of these disgusting, despicable, oh God, Trudeau, man. All right. This is what he suggests, right? So many in Canada, just like all other countries, they haven't worked. Have you received your stimulus checks? Have you received the equivalent to what we're receiving in the United States? As if that goes very far at all. Many people have not received unemployment. And this is what a psychopath will do. He will put in your face what you can't do.
Buy Canadian. Pick up some Canadian cheese to help out a local dairy farmer. Have a fish fry or buy Canadian lobster. Not only will it taste great, but it'll help the people who keep putting food on our plates. Buy Canadian. Pick up some Canadian cheese to help out a local dairy farmer. Have a fish fry or buy Canadian lobster. Not only will it taste great, but it'll help the people who keep putting food on our plates.
This guy is so disgusting. Yeah, go out and buy lobster. Is lobster cheap in Canada? My hunch is it's not. It's not. But hey, have a fish fry. Yeah, that's going to be good for you. Fried food. And buy that Canadian cheese. Buy Canadian. How many of you are struggling in Canada? And your leader is telling you, go out and buy some lobster. Now, I'm, by the way, just want to show you this bizarre, it's so bizarre. Okay. The State Department has announced a plan to overhaul Social Security. It's known as the Eagle Plan. Guess who drafted it up? Jared Kushner and another guy in the Trump administration. And what do they want to do? They want to give Americans $10,000 in a one-time payment, as opposed to your weekly checks. That's right. Overhaul Social Security that they say unfairly takes away Americans' entitlement benefits. Well, that's what the Democrats are saying. Okay, well, of course, Democrats, Republicans, oh, yeah. Fight one another. Keep it going, keep it going. Eagle Plan, Trump administration to address concerns about the ballooning national debt due to massive federal spending to combat the economic downturn caused by coronavirus, which is not caused by coronavirus because we had an artificially propped up economy. It was dead, and they needed an excuse to show how dead it was, and that is the coronavirus. The national debt, the outrageous spending, Congress, President, the outrageous amounts of money that the military-industrial complex gets. And Trump just kept upping that bill. Yeah. But now, do I think that this will actually come about? No, because I think they're bringing in universal basic income. Well, they will eventually, but it may be a lot sooner than we thought. But how dare Trump administration actually propose something? And it's the State Department, foreign policy, not domestic policy. What the hell? Calls for giving Americans what they are showing us is that nothing operates as it should, as we thought it did. It's being put in your face. Mayors usurping powers of the government, of governors, governors and mayors usurping the power of the president. See, we're going regional. That regional power. That's why you're seeing, like Mayor Garcetti in Los Angeles, who is God, I can't, is it the masks? I can't remember what it was, but Newsom just relaxed some restrictions, then Garcetti comes out and tightens those restrictions, and it's, since when did mayors have more power than governors? Now, because everything is just, well, wild. Yeah, Florida to host first drive-in music festival. Here's your future, you concert goers. Now that'll be fun. You can just rock and roll in your car. Germany, there's so many protests around the world, and they're growing and growing. Thousands joined protests across country over lockdown measures and a vaccine plan by Bill Gates, the man of the hour. Oh wait, the man of the decade. No, wait, the man who seems to influence all these leaders in all these countries around the world. And, well, he has no background at all in public health, in medicine, in, well, vaccine, no background. But we're going to listen to Bill Gates. And Angela Merkel is too. Well, protests are growing. It's interesting. Germany, you got the SWAT looking guys. US, we got the SWAT looking guys. And Britain, not so much.
Country, and we need to claim our freedom from the dictator Boris Johnson. Yeah.
It's because of Neil's versus bogus numbers.
Freedom! Freedom over fear! Freedom over fear! This is fascism! This is fascism!
COVID-19 enforcement. All right. Let's just read a little bit of this article, okay? Here. Why American life went on as normal during the killer pandemic of 1969. I don't remember the killer pandemic of 1969. Oh, but it was alive and well, but not on anyone's radar. Woodstock. Woodstock. The baby boomers. Wow. What a big fail of a generation. We boomy babies. Well, that's true. We are boomy babies. Now we're just elderly babies that have, well, look at all of the baby boomers who became those congressional representatives, the presidents. Yeah. Big fail. So, this article, and I'll link below to everything. This article, it's interesting. And you baby boomers, why don't you listen up, you know? Now Patty is 68 years old, does not have rose-colored memories of attending Woodstock in August 1969. The rock festival, which took place over 4 days in Bethel, New York, mostly reminds her of being covered in mud and daydreaming about a hot shower. 17 years old when she went from Bethlehem to Bethel, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to go to this outdoor concert. There was no food, no water, all of this happened during a global pandemic in which over 1 million people died. Really? Wow. H3N2 Hong Kong flu, one of the worst in the nation's history. H3N2, which evolved from H2N2 influenza strain that caused the 1957 pandemic, was reported in mid-July 1968 in Hong Kong. By September, it had infected Marines returning to the States in Vietnam, from Vietnam. By mid-December, it had arrived in all 50 states. Schools were not shut down. Face masks were not required. I wish they did have some social distancing at Woodstock. You had to climb over people to get anywhere. All right, that's a joke. Life continued as normal. Jeffrey Tucker, the editorial director of the American Institute for Economic Research, as now, no one knew for certain how deadly the pandemic would turn out to be. Regardless, people went on with their lives, which he said isn't all that surprising. That generation approached viruses with calm rationality and intelligence. We left disease mitigation to the medical professionals, individuals, and families, rather than politics, politicians, and government. And tyrannical governments nonetheless. H3N2 has so far proved deadlier than COVID-19, but we literally stopped the world, destroyed so many people's businesses, put people in a circumstance of chronic stress that causes an awful lot of medical issues. Close down all the schools, mandate wearing masks in some places, tell people that they can't walk on a street unless they follow the arrows. Restaurants, businesses, oh, we gotta show up for a concert, a drive-in concert. And we've got to have contact tracing of everyone. So, if H3N2 was more deadly up to this point than COVID-19, why are we doing what we're doing? Why? Why have we let these policymakers decide? Oh, and people like Bill Gates and Fauci decide, well, we got to pull the plug on your life, and we'll let you know when we, put that plug back into the outlet. Why? Nothing could be more obviously insane, but they get away with it because people have become insane. So H3N2, COVID-19, both viruses spread quickly. Both caused upper respiratory symptoms, including fever, cough, shortness of breath. Both infected mostly those over 65 years of age with underlying medical conditions. Why are we handling this so drastically and dangerously different? Perhaps there's an agenda behind the coronavirus. Perhaps they're lying. They're lying. Horror stories from the bodies stored in refrigerated trucks in New York to corpses stored in subway tunnels in Germany during the H3N2 outbreak. But interesting is that there was hardly any mainstream media attention. Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government, Nathaniel Moyer, said that there were few precautions taken during the H3N2 pandemic other than washing hands and staying home if you're sick. It was like the pandemic hadn't even happened if you look for it in history books. Oh, but look for COVID-19 and, well, there won't be any history books. Well, I guess it might be on the telly screen for you, but probably not. He added, I am still shocked at how differently people addressed, or maybe even ignored, 1968 compared to 2020. Virus rarely made front page news. 1968 story in the Associated Press warned that deaths caused by the Hong Kong flu more than doubled across the nation in the third week of December. Woof! It was contagious, killing people. But people went on with their lives. Vaccine was soon developed in 1969, not long after Woodstock, but the news of a cure didn't get much media attention either. The pandemic didn't. The cure didn't. World responded in 1968 pandemic to the 1968 pandemic with a shrug of indifference, but the different approaches may be down to a generational divide. Really? We were confident in 1968. We were confident with all the advances in medicine. Measles, mumps, chickenpox, scarlet fever, polio, all had been brought under control. So, no one knew about the pandemic in 1968-69. So how could you say that we were confident? You're confident about something when you know about it. Tucker remembers being taught as a child of the 60s that getting viruses ultimately strengthened one's immune system. They're locking everyone away, social distancing, 6 feet, wear that mask. They don't want you to have immunity for some reason, because exposure will give you immunity. So don't you think that's odd? Well, the whole virus thing is, let's just say it's virus faux. F-A-U-X. And it's a big faux pas. But, yeah. Baby boomers. Don't you remember? Don't you have vivid memories of the measles parties, the chickenpox party? The idea was that you should get it and get it over with when you are young, so you have immunity. Oh, but today, 32 have the measles. Therefore, we've got to take away your rights, and we've got to mandate the MMR vaccine. Very different. In a short period of time, our nation now is a psychiatric institution with crazy, crazy people. Excuse my French, batshit crazy people. Not just the policymakers, not just the politicians, not just the Gates and the Faucis and the Trumps and the people. The people. So, all right, you can read this. But it's interesting because many baby boomers remember the mud, the rain, the constant rain, the mud. Well, some knew where that rain was coming from. Woodstock.
The only hassle is the mud. The mud. Hassle. Is this disturbing you at all? Yeah. Or is this alright? Yeah. It's a drag? Yeah. Oh, man. It's a groove. It's a groove. Yeah. Can you feel discouraged at all, or is this all right? It's fine. I got something to say. I want to know how come the fascist pigs have been seeding the clouds. Right. There's airplanes going over it twice with all the smoke coming out of them seeding the clouds. And I want to know, why that stuff is going down, man. And why doesn't the media report that stuff to the people, man? I'm telling you what happened. The planes come over an hour and a half and they see all the clouds. It's the second time they did this. People of unknown origin were seeding the clouds over the I don't know what they hope to prove, man. What's going on here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm up here. I'm almost on the way.
Sorry, I didn't put my mic on. A whole lot of the older generation, points the finger at the younger generations. The millennials. The millennials. It's the millennials' fault. They just stare at a screen. Hello, baby boomers. Hello. What the hell were you doing? And what did you become? But they were talking about cloud seeding, the making of rain, chemtrails. Yeah. They were doing it in Vietnam. They did it at Woodstock. So, just to bring your attention to yet another fabulous article from mainstream media, the sun has entered a lockdown period which could cause freezing weather and famine. Hey! Well, it seems all we are getting is the fear-mongering, but that lockdown period, famine, freezing weather, I'm sure it has nothing to do with all of the geoengineering that has taken place for decades and the weather modification. No, has nothing to do with man putting all those nano balloons into the atmosphere. It has nothing to do with all of the electromagnetic frequencies that man has been inducing on Earth, in the atmosphere. No, nothing to do with that. They have so screwed up all of the natural processes, we're in big trouble. Big trouble. I'll leave you with this fabulous 17-second video. Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, the evil couple, the evil power couple that is literally dictating our lives. Our lives. Listen to what he says.
Is there something to worry about with medicines? That is, might some of them have side effects? Do we need safety testing? And we're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein. Is there something to worry about with medicines? That is, might some of them have side effects? Do we need safety testing? We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We
just shoot them into veins.
Shoot them right into the vein.
All right.
Is there something to worry about with medicine?
Yeah, there's something to worry about with vaccines and medicines and shooting genetically modified organisms right into someone's veins, and there's something, really wrong with eating those genetically modified organisms. All right, well, I'll link below to everything. Hope you're doing okay. Hope hanging on to your sanity is not that difficult. keeping your balance, because what we are seeing now, I think this is a walk in the park to what we will be seeing in a few months from now. Yeah, that's my hunch. All right, have a good night. Ciao.